Hi, I'm Kaz.
And I'm Pete.
And together we're Crafty Caravanners. Today's video is an 8-question challenge set to us by Joe, Mar and Ellis from ItchyFeet Caravanners. Thanks for the nomination, guys. I'll be sending a package to Ellis this week as a little thank you, so watch out for Mr. Posty.
If you haven't checked out their channel, then pop over and take a look. And if you like what you see, then don't forget to like and subscribe. Without further ado, we will start with question number 1.
What is your favourite playlist? Anything really, except jazz. I hate jazz. I have a particular penchant for anything from the 80s.
I tend to go for the kind of music that is more complicated to listen to and avoid anything that has been touched by the hand of Simon Cowell. A little bit of punk music and some good old 70s biker rock.
Question number 2. The best thing you take on holiday? The Kadak. I like that because you can cook so many different things on it. Curry, full English, spaghetti bolognese, chopped steak, a proper good old fashioned barbecue.
For me, it has to be the Wi-Fi. Most of the television content we consume is via streaming, including YouTube, and by using the Wi-Fi streaming device, we no longer face the challenge of setting up the TV aerial.
Question number 3. Favourite food to cook in the awning? We don't use the barbecue in the awning, we use that outside. So if it has to be something that's cooked in the awning, then it would be anything we could do in the slow cooker, spaghetti bolognese, sausage casserole, stew.
Question number 4. How do you spend your evenings?
It depends where we are, what time of year it is, and what the weather's like, whether we're on our own or whether we're with other campers. There's nothing nicer than sitting out on a warm evening with friends, chatting away with a few beers and ciders or gin, or whatever tickles your fancy. If we're on our own and the weather is nice, we like to just sit, look at the stars and enjoy the peace and quiet. We tend to book adult-only sites for this reason in particular.
When the weather is not so nice, then we like to sit in the caravan all cozy and watch Netflix and catch up on other YouTube channels.
I sometimes do some crafting such as pebble painting if I've taken my acrylic paints and brushes with me.
You also like to paint the couch too, but let's not talk about that.
Question number 5. Your worst caravanning experience? We have covered this story before, but to date it still does remain our worst experience. It was on a trip to Cledd-y-Tan in Wales, and we had taken a wrong turn and ended up going along a road that was just wide enough for the caravan. It was one of those roads that had grass and weeds down the middle, indicating that it's rarely used, and it definitely was not suitable for caravans. Then, to make matters worse, the road started getting bendier and steeper. At one point, the smell coming from the clutch was rather alarming, and we could smell it on the van for days afterwards. All I can say was I was glad that Pete was driving, but I really did feel a bit sorry for him.
Question number 6. Most useless thing that you always take with you? Well, that's got to be the toaster. It always comes with us, but we very rarely use it, and to be honest, if we wanted to, we just make toast under the grill. It actually takes up a whole cupboard for itself.
So that may well be going when we do our pre-trip checks in April. Question number 7. Funniest caravanning moment? I'll let you do this one.
We'd taken the trailer tent, which is not a caravan, but still, it's still funny, to a campsite in Sand Bay in Somerset for a few days, and the weather was lovely. We'd taken Dottie and Milo for a country walk. We followed the public footpath signs and ended up walking over lots of fields. We came to a pathway between 2 fields, and Kaz, being the gymnast of note, pulled some strange move in a panic to avoid contact with an electric fence, which by the way wasn't moving at all. I think if we just carried on walking normally, the fence would have kept itself to itself. And so to avoid this electric fence, she hurled herself into a bush of brambles instead. Further on in the same walk, Kaz also managed to put a size 8 into a big fat soggy cow poo.
Yeah, that was a memorable walk. Question number 8. A fascinating fact about you. I used to be a holiday rep for Thomas Cook and have worked in the Canary Islands of Tenerife and Gran Canaria. I've worked in Greece on the island of Zakynthos, Zante, in the resorts of Kalamaki, Agiosostis and Laguna, and lastly, my favourite of all, Turkey, in the resorts of Marmaris and Ishmala.
When I was about 5 years old, I was impersonating a cartoon character from the 1970s, Hong Kong Phooey, who wears a mask. I improvised with a tea towel, which slipped down to cover my eyes whilst I was riding down the biggest hill in the neighbourhood. I ended up in A&E with a broken arm.
I'm not laughing, honestly. Now it's our turn to nominate 3 other YouTube channels to the same 8 questions. We're going to nominate Lin Rich from Home From Home. Don't forget to email me for your prize from our last video, guys.
James from Caravan Escapades.
And Andy and Jan from Many Fun Adventures. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Bye.